YouTube community, Al Jardine fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to chat about this wonderful live album from Al. Al Jardine, Family and Friends, live in Las Vegas, signed by the guy himself. How cool is that? This was sent over by Al and his team. Spud sent this over as a thank you when I interviewed Al a little while ago, and it was really, really fun to dig into this thing because, as far as I know, it's not streaming anywhere, so it's really hard to pick up a copy of it. But in terms of a Beach Boys live record goes, this thing is absolutely essential. According to the back of the CD, it was recorded at the MGM on November 28th, 1999. And not only does it feature a couple of deep cuts that you don't normally hear, like Wild Honey and Girl Don't Tell Me and Breakaway, which is really, really cool. There's a brand new track on here called, well, brand new at the time, called California Energy Blues, and we'll get to that. This live performance came at a really weird time for the Beach Boys. You know, after Carl passed away, the band really splintered. You know, things got really messy with the guys, and Al tried going out with using the word Beach Boys in his, publicity to do shows, and Mike put the kibosh on that and said, I own the trademark, I'm using the Beach Boys name, that's it. So Al was like, all right, well, I'll just go out with my own name, Family and Friends. We all know what we're talking about. We all know this is Beach Boy people here. After Carl died, things just went downhill so fast. Carl was the glue that kept so much of that stuff together, and it's just, to think what would have happened if Carl hadn't passed away and how long the band would have gone on as the Beach Boys, it's truly something to think about and get lost in. But regardless, because of all that, it did lead to this incredible performance. So along with Al, you've got Carney and Wendy Wilson laying down their amazing vocals, Adam and Matt Jardine, again, amazing vocals, and you've got some absolutely essential key players on here. Craig Copeland on 6 and 12 string guitars, Billy Hinchy, of course, Bobby Figueroa on drums and vocals, Jimmy Poo, Tommy Jacob, Richie Kanata, Ed Carter, of course, Randall Kirsch, and a few of these guys are on that last track. They're not necessarily playing live, but they're all part of this album, if you will. The energy and the enthusiasm and the speed on this album is unmatched. It sounds like you're listening to, a 60s Beach Boys concert, because they don't play these songs like they would come to do over the years, kind of slowing them down a little bit here and there. The energy on this thing is just propulsive. Dance, 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 Do You Want to Dance, Catch a Wave, Hawaii, Do It Again. They just hit you over the head with some really good hits. And here, Catch a Wave and Hawaii is really cool because the Beach Boys hadn't touched those in a while. Well, Catch a Wave, sure, but Hawaii, not so much. Darlin', Carney takes lead on that one and absolutely knocks it out of the park. It sounds so good. And then Wild Honey comes up next, and then Come Go With Me is really cool. A song from MIU, I don't know when the last time they touched that one was before this was done, but hearing Al tell stories about, doo-wop and the 50s and like what it was like to sing together and, create vocal blends before that song was really cool. Carney comes back for Surfer Girl. Wendy does Don't Worry Baby. She sounds phenomenal. They do Shut Down, Little Deuce Coupe, I Get Around, In My Room. Ends like the first half of the set list, if you want to call it that. They come back for Adam Jardine to do Girl Don't Tell Me. And this is one of the highlights of this record. If you haven't heard Adam singing Girl Don't Tell Me, and the way they present the music, they do all these little chops and starts and stops, and they add a whole different flavor with background voices. They really flesh out the song, unbelievably enough. And it is absolutely something to behold and listen to and enjoy. It sounds phenomenal. Follow that up with Breakaway, a song they hadn't played in years at that point. Very, very good. And then Salon Sailor with Billy Hinchy and Bobby Figueroa switching vocals. Come on, isn't any cooler than that? You get your Pet Sounds Suite with God Only Knows, Sloop John B, and Wouldn't It Be Nice, followed by Good Vibrations, and a really, really groovy version of Heroes and Villains with some good solo bass parts. Excellent. Al, Don't Help Me Rhonda, what more could you want? Surfing USA. They bring out Barbara Ann. They do Fun, 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 and the show is over, and it is just a phenomenal listening experience. California Energy Blues is a song that has disappeared to the sands of time, if you will, in terms of Al's solo discography. This one calls out the energy crisis that was happening, I guess, in the early 2000s in California. I wasn't there, so I don't know, but it sounds like this is what was happening around that time. And what's really cool about this song is that it feels like something that could have easily fit on Surf's Up, you know, in terms of ecology and looking out for the world and wanting better and hoping better. It even calls out President Bush, which is, you know, pretty cool. But the energy of this song almost sounds like a really evil Stray Cats song. It's got this wandering bass line, doon, 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 and the bite, the grip, the tenacity on this track keeps your interest. It's a fascinating little song, and I wish more people knew about it. I wish it just didn't get completely eclipsed in the sands of time, as I said before. But, you know, this album came out, we're going on 24 years ago. It's a long time ago. So if you were around at the time, obviously you knew about it, and obviously you would have been talking about it back then. But if you're a new fan, this CD is becoming harder to find, and this song is becoming more elusive. So the packaging on this CD is wonderful. They really went all out with this. I love this. And then check out the check out that Great Shot of Al from about 68, 69, 70, somewhere in there. The booklet itself is really great too. You've got some liner notes written by Alan Boyd. You've got some information about the show, like what the set list was, and then who played what on stage, with a Great Shot of Al from the 60s up there too. But excellent pictures on the back. The vocal blend between everybody on stage is mind-blowing. Obviously, it's in their blood. It's in their DNA to perform together. This is what Wilsons and Jardines are supposed to do. But like I said before, the energy, the grip, the hunger, the tenacity, like, they really put everything out there, and it's so engaging and so much fun, and like, you just want to cheer and clap along and obviously sing along with them too. But it's just a rocking good time from a group of people that probably felt a little rejuvenated or a little inspired, or just wanted to go out there and kick ass because the Beach Boys kind of ended for a little while there. So, you know, a lot of things were happening at this time for the Beach Boys, and weren't happening, I should say, at the same time. It was a really weird time for the Beach Boys. But, you know, hearing Al be so stoked and telling stories, and then everybody on stage chatting and interacting with each other, just cheering each other on, is a lot of fun. So I highly recommend this album. If you want to hear something that's spirited, energetic, and has some great deep cuts, Girl Don't Tell Me, Breakaway, even Salon Sailor with Billy Hinchy, that's pretty cool too. In My Room is a wonderful version of that. Come Go With Me and Wild Honey. At that point, Wild Honey hadn't been touched in years. So that was a fascinating listen to dig into that one. But it's just so much fun. You know what? 10 out of 10, because it's Wilson's, it's Jardines, it's Billy Hinchy, it's Bobby Figueroa. Everybody is on this thing. If you want classic Beach Boys and their family, you can't get any better than this CD. So there you go. My name is Giggens. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you dig into this. Pick up a copy for yourself and let me know what you think about it. And we'll get chatting about Al, family, and friends in the comments below. But until then, see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.